Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really unique kind of exercise called IsoTone. We're going to break down how it can turn your effort into either this deep, therapeutic heat or a high-energy cardio session. So let me start with a question for you. What if your workout could be two completely different things? Like one day, it's a slow, intense burn, and the next, it's a fast, dynamic flow, but you're using the exact same device. How is that possible?
Well, that's what we're going to explore. We're going to look at the two very different personalities of IsoTone. You'll see how each one works, what it feels like, and most importantly, which one is right for your goals.
Okay, let's get right into it. At its core, IsoTone is really simple. It has two main modes, high resistance, which we'll just call HR, and you guessed it, low resistance, or LR. Think of it like this. HR is all about these slow, super controlled compressions. You feel this deep tension in your muscles. LR, on the other hand, is the total opposite. It's fast, it's rhythmic, and it feels a lot more like a classic cardio workout. And believe me, that one little difference in speed and resistance, it's a total game changer.
So you might be wondering, how does that even work, on a biological level? Well, it all comes down to a really basic principle of how our bodies handle energy when we exercise.
The key idea here is something called mechanical efficiency. It sounds complicated, but it's not. Basically, it's just a way of asking how much of the energy you're burning is actually moving the machine and how much of it is just turning into body heat.
Okay, now this is where it gets really cool. In that slow, high-resistance mode, your body becomes incredibly inefficient, and that's actually the whole point. A whopping 90% of the energy you're using gets converted directly into body heat. Only a tiny 10% is used for movement.
Now, let's flip that. Look at the low resistance mode. Here, your body gets way more efficient. About 25% of your energy goes into the mechanical work of moving the device. Now, a big chunk still becomes heat, but it's a totally different balance.
And this table just lays it all out perfectly. You can see HR mode has super low efficiency, which means it traps a ton of heat in your body. LR mode, higher efficiency, higher power output, it's all about moving energy. This right here explains why they feel so different. One is that deep muscle strain, and the other is all about your breathing.
Okay, enough with the science for a second. Let's talk about how this actually translates to your body. What does all this talk about heat and efficiency really feel like when you're doing the workout?
Well, in HR mode, that heat it traps is no joke. We're talking a measurable increase in the temperature of your actual muscles, sometimes by as much as 2 or 3 degrees Celsius. You're literally warming your muscles from the inside out.
And it's not just your muscles either. Your entire core body temperature starts to climb, creating this deep internal warmth that you feel just everywhere.
And you can bet this changes your whole cardio experience. LR mode gets your heart and lungs pumping almost right away. We're talking 30 to 90 seconds. But HR mode, that's a slow burn. The intensity kind of creeps up on you over a few minutes, feeling much more like a deep muscle challenge than an all-out sprint.
And this really gets to the heart of how people describe the HR experience. They talk about this intense internal heat, a serious muscle burn, but without all the heavy breathing and panting you'd expect from working that hard. And LR? Well, it feels exactly like the science says it should, like cardio. Your breathing gets faster, you might start to sweat a bit, and you get that energetic warmth that just comes from getting your heart rate up. All right, so we know the what and the why. Now let's talk about the how and the when. Since these two modes are so different, when should you actually use each one to get the biggest benefit? So, HR mode is your go-to for anything therapeutic. Think of it as your secret weapon for warming up cold muscles before a workout, for helping with recovery, or for stimulating circulation deep inside your body. It's amazing for that.
Now, LR mode, that's your workhorse for all the traditional fitness goals. This is what you're going to use when you want to do aerobic training, build up your endurance, burn some calories, and just get a great overall cardio workout. But you know what? The real magic happens when you start combining them. A hybrid session is just a fantastic way to go. You can start with HR mode to get that deep muscle heat going. Then you switch over to LR for your main workout, and you can even finish up with HR again for a nice controlled cool down. Okay, let's bring this all home. If you're going to remember just one thing from all of this, it should be the fundamental difference between these two modes.
So here's the bottom line. HR mode is all about thermogenic strength. It's using your body's own inefficiency to store heat deep in your muscles for recovery and therapy. LR mode is all about aerobic energy. It uses higher efficiency to move energy through your system for cardio conditioning. 2 goals, 2 feelings, 2 really powerful ways to train. At the end of the day, IsoTone gives you this incredible level of control. It lets you decide how to channel your own energy. You can turn it into therapeutic heat to build resilience from the inside out, or you can unleash it as dynamic cardio to build your endurance. It's a seriously powerful tool for your health now that you know exactly how it works.